Well, I did say that I like Suella Braverman, and her policy announcement relating to the ECHR is something I think a lot of you are going to welcome, because we're going to hear a lot of bluster from some of the Tory leadership candidates about controlling borders and so on. But as we've seen recently, to properly get a handle on stopping illegal migration is clearly going to involve now leaving the ECHR. And this will determine, I think, which candidates are actually in touch with the country and with the Tory grassroots, because it's not just the recent poll that we saw that showed Conservatives massively in favour of leaving the ECHR, but also, in terms of the country, more Brits overall support leaving the ECHR than remaining. And so Suella Braverman coming out and saying it's time to fully take back control of our borders, that means leaving the jurisdiction of the ECHR. In the statement there, saying very clearly the UK must leave the ECHR. So when people vote for Brexit, they expected we would take back control of our borders. It is unacceptable that a foreign court stopped the Rwanda deportation flight. The British people, she says, should be able to vote for their priorities and expect that their government can carry them out. This is the definition of taking back control. She says, as Attorney General, I've seen firsthand the problems the ECHR has caused us. Obstructing lawful deportations by going to the ECHR destroys trust in politics and does nothing for public safety or the well-being of the victims of people smugglers. Now, don't forget, outside of the Westminster bubble, immigration, asylum, YouGov polling shows for both Leave voters and Conservative voters is the number 2 issue right now, behind only the economy. So I hope we get some questions as well to the candidates in the media about whether they plan to reduce net migration down to the tens of thousands as Theresa May and David Cameron pledged. And speaking of Theresa May, let's just remind ourselves, even as she advocated the UK remaining inside the EU, what she had to say about the ECHR when she was Home Secretary.
The case for Britain remaining a member of organisations such as NATO, the World Trade Organisation and the United Nations, for example, is clear. But as I have said before, the case for remaining signatory of the European Convention on Human Rights, which means Britain is subject to the jurisdiction of the European Court of Human Rights, is not clear. Because despite what people sometimes think, it wasn't the European Union that delayed for years the extradition of Abu Hamza, almost stopped the deportation of Abu Qatada, and tried to tell Parliament that however we voted, we could not deprive the prisoners of the vote. It was the European Convention on Human Rights. The ECHR can bind the hands of Parliament, adds nothing to our prosperity, makes us less secure by preventing the deportation of dangerous foreign nationals, and does nothing to change the attitudes of governments like Russia's when it comes to human rights. So regardless of the EU referendum, my view is this: if we want to reform human rights laws in this country, it isn't the EU we should leave, but the ECHR and the jurisdiction of its court.
So yeah, as I said, I think Suella Braverman here leading on policy, and it'll be interesting to see now what other candidates have to say. Will they back remaining in the ECHR or not? Let me know what you make of what Suella Braverman had to say there. And of course, as ever, guys, cheers for watching.